So there comes a point in our young lives when we're grown up and finally told by our parents, or perhaps you're super disciplined and told yourself, that it's time to get a job. And you do that thing where you make a, and then a, and then a, yeah, whatever. And then you go in your room and you realize you've got a family of moths living in your wallet right next to that reality check. Aha, know what I'm saying? High five for that segue. Whoa, okay, wait, no! But it is at this point where you gather up your resume, send them out to places you don't want to work, and then wait around and hopefully hear from someone to pay you minimum wage for a pretty disappointing job. But hey, I don't speak for everybody. Maybe you want to work as a cashier and deal with people cussing at you and every conceivable bad word in the English language, so don't let me take that away from you. But for the rest of us, in most cases, it's just dread on top of unhappiness and all around a bad time. Now, I've told many stories on this channel and quite a few job stories as well. But in today's animation, I wanted to talk to you guys about a job that was probably the worst and also the most troublesome job I have ever worked. Because, well, my life was on the line. And that job was a factory. See what I did there? It was a factory. It was a factory. I thought it was on a roll from earlier, okay? But to be more specific, this place was actually a dairy factory. That's right, yo boy TheFearRaiser, who you know and love today, used to stack milk cartons and toss out old dairy products for a living. Can't say it was my proudest moment, but hey, out of all the jobs I have ever gotten, it paid the most, so screw it. Of course I enjoyed washing milk carts for 8 hours straight. Who wouldn't? Unloading trucks full of butter and milk, being stationed at a conveyor belt all day, making sure those loud machines next to you didn't accidentally rip your arm off, and tossing expired milk cartons at the wall of the dump was honestly the biggest stress reliever. Yup, it was a pretty great job indeed. Okay, who was I kidding? The job was terrible. After school had finished up back then and it was the summer, I needed a job bad. No way was I gonna go broke during my time of freedom and joy, especially with all those McDonald's deals going on back then. So I applied to this dairy job as it paid pretty decent and eventually got called in and had gotten the job. Super happy and also looking forward to the amount of money I'd be making on top of free milk, because who doesn't look forward to the, who doesn't like that, you know, free milk during the summer. But anyways, I was looking forward to my summertime position at this job. That was until I had completed my first week there. Because this place had a seniority going on, I essentially was stuck with the hours they had given me permanently. All the people who have worked there longer than me would get the benefit of working 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. while I was given the 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. shift Monday to Friday for the rest of that entire job. That's right. Just imagine that for a second. You wake up, hopefully early, if not, you sleep in, and then before you can even spend any time with your day, you've got to head to work and suffer out the rest of your day in a factory with no windows, so you couldn't see the outside at all, and you couldn't even step outside during breaks. My summer was getting swept under my feet as I would work these terrible jobs for the rest of my entire summer. And did I mention that during every shift, I would have to wear work boots, gloves, a factory jumpsuit, helmet, earbuds because the machines were loud, and protective goggles. So while I worked at this job, you couldn't interact with anyone because everybody had these earbuds lodged deep into their brains to keep themselves from going deaf over the sounds of the machines. I was legitimately going crazy. The first job they gave me during my time there was to go into the back room and literally wash milk crates for the entire day. Imagine standing up by a machine where you need to load it with milk crates and then stack them for 8 hours every day. Pretty exciting, right? No! It's torture, I tell you! It had gotten so bad that I would actually insist on doing the summertime cleaning outside around the building so that I could just be outside during my shift, which I can say didn't happen often, but it was incredible to feel the sun when I was given the chance. But to sum this job all up, it was terrible. However, now I want to get into the part that made this job even more dangerous, especially for me. Because this was a factory job, there were not only dozens of machines that, if not watched properly, could, like I said earlier, rip off your arm or even fatally injure you, but there were ripping your arm off would fatally injure you, but There were 2 storage departments in this factory that were not organized properly at all. There was one in the back for all the giant boxes that would hold appliances and items that did not need to be refrigerated, and then of course there would be the cold room, which had all the dairy products that would be getting ready to get shipped. The reason why these 2 sections of this factory were places I would do my very best to avoid is because not once, not twice, but 3 times were there incidences where either a giant crate of milk or a giant box of heavy items fell down, nearly killing a few people. And I happened to witness one of those times where I might have actually seen someone die. For the first time, I might add. The job had me on edge, and with the lack of communication going on and being essentially left to fend for myself, I had felt like a robot who wasn't programmed properly and what I needed to do. And after 2 exhausting months of working at this place, I had finally decided that I wanted to quit and never return to this job again because of how painful and stressful it was to work there, so that I could also get just a little bit of my summer to enjoy at the end. And after a few more years, that factory got shut down. Why, you're asking? I wouldn't know, but I can definitely tell you I wasn't surprised when it happened. So what's the lesson here? Always be wary and know that your safety comes first at any job you work at, even if it's an intimidating one. And don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. You have the right to refuse dangerous work, and if you're not comfortable about a task you're given during work, either confront the managers or leave the job, because it's not worth getting hurt over.